Hey, welcome back. Today we continue with our deep walk through the ancient Triennial Torah portions of Bereshit. That's Genesis. So glad you all could be here today. Now, today's Torah portion is Genesis 33, verse 18 through 35, verse 8, but we will be stopping at the end of 34. And the Haftarah starts with Nahum chapter 1, verse 12. The Torah portion is called Vayavo Yaakov Shalem. Then Jacob came, or Jacob entered, he arrived, Shalem. This can mean different things. We'll talk about it when we get there. Basically, it could basically can mean like holy or as a friend with goodwill. Some even go so far as to say peacefully. Okay, so let's go ahead and say a quick prayer. Avinu malkeinu ken yhi ratzon ki bayom hazeh אנחנו יכולים ללמוד טוב בעיניך. בי אדוני, פתח נא את לבבינו, כי אנחנו יכולים מבינים טוב. אנחנו רוצים לראות את פניך. לא לנו, לא לנו, ולך יחיה כל הכבוד. בזכות ישוע המשיח. All right. Let's get started then. Trying things a little bit differently today. Hopefully it works out okay. But I won't be able to draw on the screen today, so we'll just see how that goes. Okay. As is usual for us now, you can see on the right side is the Leningrad Codex, that 1,000 plus aged complete Hebrew Bible. And on the left, we have the BHS, actually here, the BHS Weatherman Syndrome, the BHS, Biblia Hebraica Stuttgartensia, which is a critically marked text. All right, so what I will be doing is marking and teaching from the BHS, and then we will do like a one reading from the Stuttgartensia. All right, let's get started. Verse 18, chapter 18, pardon me, where were we? Chapter 33, verse 18. Vayavo Yaakov Shalem et Shechem asher be'eretz Canaan בבואו מפדן ארם, ויחן את פני העיר. All right. Vayavo. Then he came. And maybe we can even zoom in on that a bit to make it bigger for those of you on smaller devices. Vayavo. When he arrived, or then arrived, Yaakov, Shalem. And that's that word I wanted to talk to you about. Shalem. So Rabbi Hirsch interprets Jacob's arrival in peace, Shalem, at Shechem as signifying not only physical safety, but also spiritual and moral completeness. He notes that Jacob had now fulfilled his vow made at Beth-el, Genesis 28, verse 21. Returning whole in body, so again, that's Shalem, he's whole in body, and wealth and faith. This completeness is emphasized by the use of Shalem, a deliberate contrast to the turmoil Jacob had previously endured and to the moral crisis that would soon unfold in Shechem. Thus, Jacob's arrival marks a moment of fulfillment and inner harmony, setting the stage for the challenges that follow. Shechem, at the city of Shechem, as we call it today. There's even a Shechem gate at the old city in Jerusalem. Asher, which is Be'eretz Canaan, in the Eretz Canaan, the land of Canaan. Bevo'o, when he arrived, or when he came, Mip Padan Aram, from Padan Aram. Vayichan, now this is the verb chana, chet, Noon, hey, and the hey has gone away. We're left just with a chet and a noon. So that's to camp or to encamp. So vayichan, then he camped or encamped at Panei Ha'el. So at the face of the city. So meaning the entrance to the city, like close to the way to go into the city. Verse 19. Vayichan et chelkat hasadeh asher natasham ohlo miyad b'nei chamo avishchem b'mea keshita. Okay, vayikken. So that's from the verbal root kuf noon hey, and the hey's gone away, right? So no, it's nothing to do with nesting. So it's to acquire. Vayiken, and then he acquired et the chelkat hasadeh. So a chelka, don't think of Hellcat, but if it helps you to remember, go ahead. A chelka is like a portion, so or a parcel, like chelkat hasadeh, the portion of the field, asher which, or where, natasham oholo, he could encamp there or stretch out there his tent, right? You'd stretch the tents out and then you'd put in. The verb is actually nata, and the noon is, oh, it's still there. It's still there. It often disappears. That's right. Vayita, if it was with a vav conversive. So he stretched out there or inclined there the ohel, the tent of, oh, his tent. Me. So that min there is me. That's from, let's zoom in a bit. From, see the noon is hiding inside over there? From the yad of B'nai of Chamor. So from the yad B'nai Chamor. So from the authority or possession of the children of Chamor. Avi Shechem, the father of Shechem. B'me'ah kesita. So this is how much he kaned it for, how much he acquired it for. Me'ah is 100 kesita, just a unit of measure for money, kind of money system. Okay, verse 20. Vayatzev sham mizbeach vayikol lo el Elohei Yisrael. So vayatzef is from the verbal root natsav. And you can see the noon or noon is hiding up over there in the tzadi. You see it hiding in that tzadi over there? It does that sometimes. So in ancient Hebrew, it would have been vayan tzef, but over time that n assimilated, and we get by vayatz tzef. Same thing happens in English. In older English, the word for illegal was originally illegal. And over time, that N assimilated and doubled the L, illegal. Same thing happening here. Yan tzef became yatz tzef. It doubled the tzadi. That dagesh tells you there are two tzadis there. So it's like to position oneself. Vayan tzef sham, and he positioned sham there a mizbeach, an altar, from the verbal root zavach, to sacrifice or ritually slaughter. Vayikra, then he called lo to it, so he named it, the Elohei Yisrael, the God of Israel. Very interesting. Oops. Sorry, that's not the. I thought that sounded short. He called it El Elohei Yisrael. So El, the God. It's very interesting. The God of Elohei, the God of Yisrael, or it could be like El, the God of Elohei Yisrael, the angels of Israel, or the God of the divine beings or the mighty ones of Israel. Makes more sense, right? The God of the God doesn't make so much sense. And El and Elohim, I've explained in other lessons, they have a broad semantic range of meaning, right? Like last time we talked about it was an angel. The angel named Yisrael, because the angel had just struggled with him. So he named him Struggles with Angel, right? Or struggles with divine beings, with the powers that are in the other domain, the spiritual domain. All right. Chapter 34, verse 1. Vatetzehi Vina bat Leah asher yaleda leYaakov lirot bivnot haaretz. Vatetze. So this is from the verb yatsa. Yod, tzadi, aleph. And verbs that start with the yod, very often that yod disappears. So we have just tzadi and aleph are left. So yatsa, of course, is to go out, right? To go out. Like we have very famously the Yetziat Mitzrayim, the going out of Egypt or the Exodus from Egypt. So Teitze means she is going out or she will go out. It's an incompleted action, so it's imperfect. But then the Vav conversive dun, 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 changes that to make it completed, right? So it's a perfect. But Teitze Vina. Then Vina went out. Oh, well, sorry, we get a full qualifier from her. Vina de bat Leah. Then Vina, the daughter of Leah, the subject Teitze, went out. Oh wow, it's really a long subject. My bad. The subject is Dina bat Leah asher yalada leYaakov. Then that's the vav. Then Dina bat Leah, Dina, the daughter of Leah, asher whom yalada she had born leYaakov to Jacob. Teitze went out. It's a long subject, isn't it? Lirot, to see, from ra'ah, reish aleph hey, verbs end in hey. The infinitive oftentimes it comes back as a tav. So lirot, to see, biv bi among the venot haaretz, the daughters of the land. Just like a kid you'd expect, right? A teen wants to go find other kids, other teens to play with, to socialize with, to see what they do there, what's fun to do there, what cool places are there to see. She's very curious to meet them. All right. So here on the Leningrad Codex, you can see the Samech showing us this is a Sedra. This is the ancient triennial Torah reading that we have here. And maybe I'll just make that a bit bigger. We're going to read through that now. Just read. I won't count from it. Vayavo Yaakov Shalem Ir Shechem Asher be'eretz Kenaan bevo'o bipadan Aram Vayichan et Panei Ha'ir. Verse 19. Vayiken et חלקת השדה אשר נטע שם אוהלו מיד בני חמו אבי שכם במאה כסיתה. That's how much he bought it for. I don't mean to make it so, I'll make it so you can see the other one, in case you need that too. Verse 20. ויצב שם מזבח ויקרא לו אל אלוהי ישראל. Genesis 34 verse 1. ותצא דינה בת לאה אשר ילדה ליעקב לראות בבנות הארץ. All right. Checking my time. All right, let's continue. Genesis chapter 34, verse 2. ויותח שכם בן חמור החיווי נשיא הארץ ויקח אותה וישכב אותך ויעניה. Vayal. So this is the verb reish aleph hey. Verbs that end in hey. What happens? The hey goes away. So we are left only with the reish and the aleph. So va. So ya is he will see or he is seeing. Who? Subject over here. Shechem ben Chamor. Shechem, like shoulder, the son of donkey. That's what his name means. The son of an ass. Okay. So, Vaya, then Shechem, the son of an ass, saw Otah, her. Ah, again, there's more to his name. Hachiwi. Shechem ben Chamor Hachiwi. Shechem, the son of Chamor, the Chiwi, the Chiwite. Yah, he saw. Ota, her. This keeps happening to me today. When I just read it for myself, it doesn't happen, but because I'm sharing it and going word by word kind of slowly. The subject's even longer with this guy, too. Okay, the subject of Vaya is Shechem ben Chamor Hachiwi Nesi Haaretz. Okay. Shechem, the son of Chamor Hachiwi, the Hiwite, the Nesi Haaretz, the ruler of the prince of the land. Nasi is an interesting word. Nasi is like it can be used for prince, right? Like we have Yehuda HaNasi, right? In modern Hebrew, it means like the president is the Nasi, right? It's got the idea of being in power of the land, right? He's one who nasas carries the legal code in the land. So he saw her, Ota. Vayikach from lakach, lamed, kuf, chet. The lamed is gone, assimilated. Let's zoom in a bit. And he took Ota, her. Vayishkav, and he laid down Ota with her. Vayaneha, and he oppressed her. Subdued, Anna, it's from Anna, Ayin Nun Hey. The final Hey is gone, and then we added a Hey for her. Now, it means he raped her. That's what it means, right? It's interesting. It can be used to mean just subdue or actual rape. And so he raped her. Verse 3. Vatidbak nafsho bedina bat Yaakov veha vehana'ara v'daber alev hana'ara. Sorry about the throat issue. Not feeling so well lately. Vatidbak. So dabak, dalit bait, kuf means to cling to cleave to. Some of you may be aware of some Jewish superstitions. This is where dibuk comes to. Dibuk. There's a kind of bad spirit that cleaves to a person, it's believed. So, and a man actually should be cleaving to his wife, right? So tidbak is feminine because nefesh is feminine, soul. So vatidbak nafsho. Then his soul cleaved or clinged be to Dina, bat Yaakov, the daughter of Jacob. Ehav, and he loved et hana'ara, the lass. Vayidaber, and he spoke Va'al lev hana'ara, concerning or over the heart of the lass. Not sure what it really means by that. Verse 4. Oh, hold on, I do have a comment. On he loved the lass. Rabbi Hirsch notes the irony in Shechem's professed love for Dinah after violating her. He interprets this as a Hirsch interprets this as a deserving desire, rather than genuine affection, emphasizing the moral confusion in Shechem's character. True love must be grounded in respect and sanctity, and that Shechem's attachment to Dinah describes as his soul cleaving to her lacks an ethical foundation. This further justifies the outrage of Jacob's sons and highlights the Torah's view that love without sanctity, without kedushah, holiness, is morally deficient. Oops, sorry. I had made it so those would all animate at the same time. I'm not really sure what happened there. All right. Verse 4. Vayomer Shechem el chamo aviv le'emor kach lihi et hayalda hazot leisha. Okay. Vayomer Shechem. Then Shechem said, El unto Chamor aviv. Chamor, his father. Le'emor, saying, Kach. So again, it's from lakach. Lamed kuf chet. The lamed goes away when you make it a command. Kach, take, li, for me. Et hayalda, the girl hazot, this one. Yalda is kind of weird language to use. Makes me think she might have been only 12, maybe very young, maybe 13, right? Definitely the mind of a child, um, just making the crime that much worse. It's pretty rare for the Bible to refer to someone as a yeled or yalda if they're a full-grown adult, you know? And we have various, generally in the tradition, I think Rashi thinks she was 12, right? But had already passed through puberty or whatever. Uh, Other commentators, like in the Midrash Breshit Rabbah, seems to indicate she was a later teenager, more like 15 years old, something like this. So we don't really know. But the fact that he's calling her Yalda, it's I don't know how it comes across in your language's main translation, if it's English or Russian or whatever. But I should have checked on that. But it's odd in the Hebrew. It's odd. Na'ara, that's fine. Na'ara, that's fine, right? That covers a broad range. You can even call a 20-something-year-old a na'ara, right? Or a na'ar, a lad, right? Or a na'ara, a lass. That's no problem. It's from the perspective of the speaker. But yelad and yalda, I mean, that's from the root yalad, to birth, right? So this could even be applied to baby, right? Boy or girl. But it could be that he just in his country they spoke that way, right? It could like we call women girls sometimes in English too, right? Adult women, you can say a girl, right? You go, girl, right? So you can it might be something like that, but it does stand out. It kind of grabs your attention when you're emotionally involved in reading what happened here. Le isha, for a wife, literally for a woman. Juxtapose it, even jumps out even more. Kach li et hayalda hazot. Take this girl for me, le isha, for a woman to be like for yeah, it's a bit odd. All right, let's look at the Leningrad Codex. Wait, hold on. Sorry. Harder to control all the stuff when I'm doing it this way with the camera and everything. Shalom. Oh, there. Okay. Oh, okay. I wanted to zoom in a bit. There we go. To make it easier for everybody. All right. From the Codex, Genesis 34, verse 2. והיה אותה שכם בן חמור החיווי נשיא הארץ. ויקח אותה וישכב או אותה ויעניה. Verse 3. ותדבק נפשו בדינה בת יעקב, ויאהב את הנערה. Verse 4. וידבר על לב הנערה, ויאמר שכם אל חמו אביו לאמור, קח לי את הילדה הזאת לאישה. Okay. Oh well, notes just want to come now. Verse 5. ויעקב שמע כי טימא את דינה. Mm, mm. Woo! Genesis 34, verse 5. ויעקב שמע כי טימא את דינה ואיתו ובניו היו את מקנהו בשדה והחריש יעקב ועד בואם. ויעקב, now we have emphasis here. The verb is next, shama. Shama is next. So now Yaakov, now Jacob shama heard. Ki that Time had polluted, had defiled, et Dima, that he had defiled Dina, Vito, his daughter. Uvaniv, but his sons, Hayu. So again, special emphasis, right? Uvaniv, subject before the verb, but his sons, Hayu, were et with Miknehu, his livestock. Ba Sadeh, in As the Sadeh, in the field. Vehecherish, so kept silent, Yaakov, Ad until Boam, the coming of them. It's an infinitive construct. You put the mem on the end. The coming of them means they came or they arrived, until they arrived. Verse 6. Vayetze Chamor Avishchem El Yaakov Ledaber Ito Vayetze Chamor Avishchem. Then Chamor, the father of Shechem, went out El Yaakov, unto Yaakov, Ledaber, to speak, with him. Verse 7. Uvenei Yaakov Bahu min hasadeh keshomam ויעצבוהו האנשים וייחל להם מאוד כי נבלה עשה בישראל לשכב את בת יעקב וכן לא יעשה ובני Yaakov. Now, the sons of Jacob, Ba'u, they entered, they returned, they came back, they came, min hasadeh, from the field, keshoma'am, literally as the shema, the hearing of them, which means when they heard or as they heard, vayit ha'atzevu, and they were very angry, ha'anashim, and the men were very angry, very disturbed, vayicha lahem, and it got hot to them, meaning they're fuming, me'od, very much so. Ki nevalah asa v'Yisrael, for a foolish thing. Navala, it's like it's a foolhardy thing. Like a naval is a fool, right? One way to say a fool, like someone who doesn't care about the Torah. And nevalah, it's like a foolish sin, basically. A foolish act. Asa, he had done the Yisrael against Israel. Lishkav, by sleeping, with the Bat Yaakov, the daughter of Jacob. V'chein lo yaseh, and such should not be done. So asa is to make. The yeh here tells you it's an ephah. Okay. Genesis 34, verse 5. Let's take a look at the Codex. V'Yaakov shema ki timeh et dina vito, uv'naiv hayu et miknehu basadeh. V'hecherish Yaakov ad boam. Verse 6. Vayetze Chamor Avishchem el Yaakov ledaber ito. Verse 7. Uvnei Yaakov ba'u min hasadeh keshoma'am vayit'atzevu ha'anashim vayicha lahem me'od ki navela asa b'Yisrael. So it said Yisrael. Lishkav et bat Yaakov v'chen lo ya'aseh. So evil. Okay. Oops, sorry. Genesis 34, verse 8. וידבר חמור איתם לאמור, שכם בני, חשקה נפשו בביתכם, תנו נאותה לא לאישה. וידבר חמור איתם. Then Chamor spoke with them, Lemor, saying, Shechem beni, Shechem, the son of E, my son, chashaka nafsho, his soul, chashak, is like so attached to, so loving, bevitechem, your daughter, tenu. So it's from Natan. Verbs that start with a noon, they disappear. So we're left only with the tav and the noon. Oh, let's zoom in a bit. Here we go. So that's the command, plural form. Give, na, please, ota, her, lo, to him, leisha, for a wife. Verse 9. V'chatenu otanu, benotechem tenu lanu, v'benotenu tikhu lachem, v'hitchatenu otanu. So what this means, it's kind of interesting. It's like hitpael from choten. Choten is a father-in-law, right? So when a man gives away his daughter to another man, he becomes his choten. Hitpael means to do to oneself. So hitchatenu, it's like let us become make ourselves father-in-laws, otanu, with us, right? Or make oneself father-in-laws, us, either way. Benotechem, y'all's, chem, y'all's, benot, daughters. Titenu. So this was tin tenu, not tan, and the noon disappeared. Well, assimilated. That's why there's a strong dagish in the second tav there. So tin tenu became titenu lanu. We will, or titenu, you all give, you will give lanu to us, ve'et benotenu, and our daughters, tikechu, you all will lakach lachem, for yourselves. Verse 10. Vitano te shevu v'haaretz tikyeh livnechem shevu osecharuha v'heachazu baha. Okay. Ve'itanu, and with, pardon me, with us, teshevu. So this is from the verb yashav, yod shin beit. It's a pay yod verb. That means it's a yod that starts with a yod that starts with a verb. It's a verb that starts with a yod, and the yod disappears oftentimes. So the te and the u means you all. You all will yashav. You will dwell. Remember that can mean dwell or sit. You will dwell. So ve'itanu te shevu. With us you all will dwell. V'haaretz, and the land, tichyeh, she will be lifnechem, before y'all, chem, shevu, shevu. So again, yashav, the yod is fallen away. We're left only with the sheen and the bait. You all dwell. Osecharuha, and sachar, samachet resh. It's like to go around, usually with the idea of selling. Like a socher is a merchant, right? So like merchant around it, right? You can go around doing business, basically. Do business around in it. Vehe achazu. And you all, well, it's interesting. Hey achazu, it's a nifal. It's like be possessed, not like possessed, but like you'll be. So in achuzah from the same verb, aleph, chet, zayin, hey, achuzah is a possession, usually a land possession, right? Something that you possess. But to be possessed by the land means it's like yours. It's like yours. Vehe achazu, bah, by it. You'll be possessed by the land. He's saying it's really good land, too, is what he's hinting about here. Rabbi Arya Kaplan, the physicist, highlights that the Shechemites' offer to allow Jacob's family to dwell and trade in the land was a veiled attempt to entice them into assimilation. The economic incentives were designed to obscure the moral breach that had occurred. Rabbi Kaplan notes that material prosperity should not come at the cost of spiritual compromise. and that the proposal was ultimately a strategy to lure Jacob's family into cultural absorption. So I have a message on this that's kind of fine tuned for Filipinos, but also works for anybody else living in a country with maybe less opportunities in the West, or even for Westerners, specifically for parents and your children. It's so normal to send your children off to university and to college in the States, right? That they're going to go off, they're going to go grow up, and even if they're doing something like engineering, which isn't necessarily like party, right? People think about a lot of kids go to college to party. Ain't no partying when you're an engineering student. And there's other disciplines I'm sure that take a lot of work while you're there. But speaking from knowledge, been there, not the partying part, but been there and done the studying with 4 hours sleep a night part. But the other thing is, you need to think about really, is it really what you want? You really want to send your child whose brain is not yet fully developed away to university or away to whatever opportunity they have or to another country at that age when they don't have wisdom yet, they don't make good decisions? I remember someone was so excited here years back. Oh, I'm sending my, maybe I won't say too much that you can't figure it out. I don't think you'll figure it out. We'll be here. I'm sending my so and so to, I won't say the country. Let's just say to Europe. Okay. And I was like, whoa, like she's all excited, like, isn't that great news, Rabbi? I'm like, I think that's a mistake, you know. I told her, and the kids there too, right? Kind of listening. I said, you have to understand that country is so sexually liberal, like that's going to be everywhere, pushing the peer pressure. And as a foreigner there, who's already a little bit feeling different because she's a foreigner, that's just putting a lot of pressure on that kid, and I do not recommend it. Right? I think you're making a mistake. And I think they were offended. They seemed like they're offended, you know. And I wasn't saying like, hey, your kid is like without morals or something, right? Just you got to be realistic. And even that stuff can get on people. And I remember a couple years later, the kid comes back, comes to our Hanukkah party, and the kid's got a Muslim boyfriend. He came with her from this country. I'm just like, you know, nice fellow. He was nice. He was nice. He seemed like very interested and happy to be around Jewish stuff, right? But you don't do missionary dating, guys, okay? You don't date to turn somebody into the spiritual material, especially ladies. Because then, even if the guy converts to the God of Israel, he adopts our God, that means you're the leader, the spiritual leader in the household, ladies. You understand? So I think these are examples that people don't realize of economic incentives, right? Education in Europe, right? At the cost of spiritual compromise. And I kind of got the feeling I've usually got a pretty good intuition when I'm face to face with somebody. It's hard online, right? But I had a feeling that the kid was no longer conservative, religious, traditionalist, etc. Right? So, and parents have a blind spot for the kids, right? Don't want to, not my baby, you know. Do not be naive, folks. Sorry about the pink thing there on the note on the Codex. I didn't mean for that to still be there. So do not be naive. All right, let's read through the Codex now. מדבך מועצם לאמור, שכם בני חשקה נפשו בביתכם, תנו נא אותה לו, לאישה. Verse 9. והתחתנו אותנו, בנותיכם, תיתנו לנו, ואת בנותינו תיקחו לכם. Verse 10. ואיתנו תשבו, והארץ תהיה לפניכם. שבו וסחרוה, והאחזו בה. Verse 11. ויאמר שכם אל אביה ve'lachecha emsa chen be'einechem va'asher tomeru elai etein. Okay. Vayomer Shechem. Then Shechem, he said, El unto Avi Ha, the father of Ha, her father, Ve'el Ache Ha, and unto her brothers, Emtsachain, or Emsochain, I will find Chain, favor. Ve'arinechem, in your eyes. He probably meant ki, like if, right, or if I will find favor. But this is really cool. The Torah is capturing the way that this guy spoke, right? They spoke that way, so it's capturing his speech patterns. Maybe his people over there in his town didn't say the key part. Va'asher tomeru, and how tomeru. So the verb amar, to say, the to is you and the u is plural. According to how you will say, a light unto me. Etain. From ancient Hebrew, en tain became et tain. There's two tavs there. The dagesh shows in the middle. Some of the sages claim that Shechem's attempt to pay for the rape is antithetical to Torah. On the surface, one may say, but the Torah has a payment of 50 shekels followed by marriage if a man entices a virgin. There's a distinction, however. When the woman resists, as surely Dinah must have done, then there's a death penalty, right? For the sages' position on this, you can see tractate Torah, in the Talmud tractate Ketuvot. That means like wedding contracts, 39b, verse 12. Harbu alai meod moha omatan etena kaasher tomeru elai utenu li et hanara leisha. Harbu. So this means make it abundant, make abundant, alai upon me. Me'od, much. Mohar, the bride price. Matan. Matan is kind of an interesting word. It's only a few times in the Bible. The root is obviously Natan. Can you see the dagesh in the tav? So man-tan, right? So something that's used to Natan, to give, right? So in the giving. So what in the world is this? Well, let me turn up my move. We'll do flying rabbi for a sec. That Maeve likes. And because many of you are into different languages, we have many polyglots that are here. This is for them. If you don't dig it, don't worry. So in Yiddish, we have this word actually used, or it comes from this word, this one right here in the bold. And it says, hat mit ihm gehat lange Masematen. Masematen. You hear it? Masematen. Hear it? The moten? Masematen. Wegen dem Preis. So he had with him, it had for a long time. Masematen. That's from our word, from our Hebrew word. Wegen. Dealed or deal with them with the prize, with the price. Concerning, actually. Vegan is concerning. I was thinking of a different word. So what's with this masamaten? So can you see the maten here? Maten? There it is. Maten, spelled differently in Yiddish. Usually it's Hebrew words are spelled the same in Yiddish, but this is a derived Yiddish word from the, so masa, like things or like products. And then what's with the maten? So the maten, this masamaten is like negotiation. So ehat mitin, he had with him gehat, done, lange, for a long time, masamaten, negotiations, wegen dem price, concerning the price. So, not exactly the same meaning, but I thought some of you guys might appreciate that. So it's like a gift. This might even be a henditis. We don't really see this in many places. This mohar u matan, right? Like maybe all kinds of bridal costs. There's a likelihood that that's what it means together. Mohar u matan. So bride price and matan, and gifts. Different word from gifts that's used when Rivka is acquired. Now, mohar is interesting. In the Torah, mohar really is like a bride price. And this is still paid today. So the mohar was paid to the father or to the brother in charge, something like this. But today, in modern times, in the ketubah, with the ketubah writing, all that stuff, the mohar, it's no longer like money going to the father. Really, what happens now, it's money for the bride, right? So the bride is given money to start her new life, basically with the husband. So she's not like a burden on him right away to buy kitchen things and stuff like that, right? So she's given kind of a bunch of money. So the groom provides it, right, for her, and it's really kind of a wise thing, I think. So she's not like bothering him all the time as soon as they're married, right? Like, oh, look how expensive it is to be married, you think. So she can get her stuff for the kitchen, she can get the stuff she needs for the home. Maybe she wants to make a nursery or whatever. She's got some kind of funds. Ideally, this is how it's handled today. So it went from being something that's given to the family to kind of make up for the loss of not having her there to help on the farm, or that she wasn't able to help as much as the boys growing up, to something that helps her to start her new life. Yeah, it's kind of nice. Ah, so I might have gone too long on this. Okay, let's finish this verse. I kept looking at the tab for the time, and I forgot that I had paused my backup recorder. So, oops. Hopefully the recording's okay. So we'll finish this verse, and then I'll give you guys a break. So Harbu alai, make lots over me, me'od, exceedingly mohar umatan, all the bridal costs. Ve'etina, and I will give, or indeed I will give. The hay's like a emphatic hay. Ka'asher, according to how Tomegu, you all will say, Eli to me, Utenu, and give li to me, et hana'ara, the last leisha, for a wife. So we will start with verse 13 when we come back from the break. We're going to have a break now. You can stretch, enjoy the tune, and I will catch you guys when you are refreshed and maybe had oneg or something.
The only daughter of Jacob was sweet and curious as any girl, trained up well and virtuous, beloved of her father. Then went out Dinah, Watetze Dinah, the daughter of Leah, Bat Leah, whom bore for Jacob Asher Yalda Yaakov, to see the daughters of the land, Lirot Bivnot Haaretz. Oh, parents, watch your children well. The world is a dark and evil place. Men prowl, rabid dogs they wail, waiting at Musar to your life. Not as went out Dinah, then went out Dinah, Watetze Dinah, the daughter of Leah, Bat Leah, Asher Yalda LeYaakov, to see the daughters of the land, Lirot Bivnot Haaretz. Oh Lord, help us now to shelter all our kin. May never there be success of any threat leveled against them, and always when we go out, if any risk there be, I ask Abba to remind me of Dinah. Then when out Dinah, what did say Dinah, the daughter of Leah, Bat Leah, whom bore for Jacob Asher Yalda Leyaakov, to see the daughters of the land, Lirot bivnot haaretz.
All right. Hope you had a good oneg. Nice break. Let's continue with verse 13. So it's Genesis chapter 34, verse 13. ויענו בני יעקב את שכם ואת חמו אביו במרמה ודברו אשר טימא את דינה אחותם. Let's see, can we come up with it? Oh, wait, 9. Okay. I'm going to move myself a little out of the way so I'm not blocking the text. There you go. Maybe we'll go smaller. Great. All right. V'ya'anu v'nei Yaakov. Then the children of Jacob. Ya'anu. So the verb is ayin, nun, hey. The hey is fallen away. We're left just with the ayin and the nun. So then the sons of Jacob answered et Shechem, that guy. Ve'et Chamor, and that guy. Aviv, his father. Be mirma. So this is functioning adverbially, like deceitfully. Be is with, mirma, deceit. Although poetically, mirma can also mean like a little idol, the kind of idol that people carry around, like a figurine. It's a mirma, it's deceitful. It's not really the thing, it's just a statue. Vayidaberu, vayidaberu. Oh, here, ooh, pointing at me. And they spoke, or they said, Asher, how? So it's interesting. Oh, when they spoke. I should translate that as when they spoke, I think, when. So, V'ya'anu v'nei Yaakov, then the sons of Jacob answered, Et Shechem, ve'et Chamor Aviv, those guys, be'mirma, deceitfully. Vayidaberu, when they spoke, and we have the etnachta, right? So end of the thought. I was trying to connect this thought to the next. That's a great example of how the ta'amim, at least the etnachta, can really help you to get things right. It's part of the previous clause. I was starting a new clause, deceitfully. Vayidaberu, and then they spoke. Asher, how? What? They're telling him about the timei, about about how he defiled? No, they're not. That's the end of the clause. B'mirma vayadaberu, when they spoke. Asher, how, or how, or he was the one perhaps. Ti me, he defiled et Dina, achot Am, the sister of Am, of them. All right, let's just read the Codex now. Vayomer Shechem el aviha ve'el acheha em sachein ba'inechem va'asher tomeru elai etein. Verse 12. Harbu alai me'od mohar umatan ve'etena ka'asher tomeru elai Utenuli et hana'ara leisha. Verse 13. V'ya'anu v'nei Yaakov et Shechem v'et Chamur aviv v'nilma v'edaberu asher timeh et dina achotam. Okay. All right. A little audio issue there, but I think it's okay. Genesis chapter 34, verse 14. Vayomeru alehem lo nuchal la'asot hadavar hazeh latet et achotenu le'ish asher lo orla ki cherpa hi lanu. Right? Vayomeru. Then they said, alehem unto Lo nuchal. We are not yachal. The yod is gone. We're unable la'asot to do hadavah hazeh, this matter, this thing. Latet, to give et achotenu, the daughter of Nu, our sister, pardon me. Leish, to a man asher lo, who has to him orla, foreskin. Not to be confused with the exact same word, the orla law, which means if you plant a fruit tree, you can't eat the fruit from it for the first 4 years, right? So the fifth year you get to eat the fruit. So it's not about the orla law. He, because cherpahi, a reproach it is, lanu, to us, or a disgrace. Maybe we should zoom in a bit. Let's do that. Verse 15. Look over here. I think it's bigger on my monitor over here. Ach bezot. Also by this, neot lachem. So this is from the verb ot. You don't see too often. It's in a nifal here, not to be confused with the word meaning a sign. Okay, neot, rather the nifal form of ot, only occurs in the Bible 3 times, just 3 times, and it has the idea of to consent or to be agreed upon an issue, right? So ach bezot neot lachem. So with this, it has to be agreed lachem for you all. Im tikyu, if you will do, if you will be or become chamonu, as one of us, as us, lehimol, to be circumcised, lachem, for yourselves, kol zachar, to circumcise for yourselves all male, every male. It's a tall order. Okay. So I'm dealing with a weird visual issue. I think it's okay now. So on this, lehimol lachem kol zachar, to circumcise for yourselves every male. The act of circumcision is not enough to transfer one's neshama into a Jewish one. See Malbim for more on this, right? So just getting circumcised doesn't make somebody a Jew or a son of Israel. Definitely not a daughter of Israel. Verse 16. V'natenuhu et benotenu lachem v'benotechem nikach lanu. Excuse me. V'yashavnu itechem v'hayinu le'ad echad. Hey. V'natenu. Then we will give et benotenu, our benot, our daughters, lachem, to you all. V'et benotechem, and y'all's daughters, nikach, we will lakach, the lamed inside the kuf, lanu, for ourselves. V'yashavnu, and we will dwell itechem, with y'all. V'hayinu, and we will become. It's become because haya plus lamed can idiomatically mean become. Literally, we will be for. But and we will become am echad, a people echad, a united people. We will become a united people, or one people, either way. Okay. Verse 17. V'im lo tishme'u eleinu lehimo v'lakachnu et bitenu v'halachnu. V'im, but if lo, not tishme'u, you all will hear, or like hearken to, eleinu, unto us, lehimo, to be circumcised, velakachnu, then we will take et bitenu, our daughter. It's kind of weird they're calling her our daughter, the brothers. Vehalachnu, and we will halach, we will go. Okay, let's read that from the Codex. Vayomeru alehem lo nuchal la'asot hadavar hazeh latet et achotenu leish asher lo orla. Not lo as in not, but lo to him, orla. Ki cherpa hi lanu. Verse 15. Ach bezot neot lachem im tichyu chamonu lehimol lachem kol zachar. Verse 16. Venatanu et benotenu lachem ve'et benotechem nikach lanu. Ve'yashavnu itechem ve'hayinu le'am echad. Verse 17. Ve'im lo tishme'u eleinu lehimol ve'lakachnu et bitenu ve'halachnu. Genesis chapter 34, verse 18. ויתבו דבריהם בעיני חמו, ובעיני שכם בן חמור, ויתבו, and Yatav, Yod Tet Vav, it was good. They were good. What were good? Divreihem, their words. Be'arnei chamor, in the sight of chamor, literally in the eyes of chamor. U and ve in the arnei Shechem, ben chamor, the eyes of Shechem, the son of Chamor. Verse 19. V'lo echar hana'ar le'asot hadavar ki chafetz bevat Yaakov vehu נכבד מכל בית אביו, ולא, and not, echar, echar. So echar is a PL form from the root acher, aleph, chet, resh, which means after, right? After, or sometimes it can mean behind, like they followed after, they're following after me, acharai, right? Rodef, heim rodefim acharai, right? They're following after me, or yildefu acharai. So it can mean to detain, right? To detain someone. It can mean to hold back or give hesitatingly. And it can also mean with al, to linger. Do you have to? Do you have to let it? Echar al. And it can mean to delay or hesitate. Right? So velo echar. He didn't do it hesitatingly, right? He didn't hold back. Hana'ar, the lad. La'asot, to do, hadavar, the thing. Ki chafetz, for he delighted be'in da vat Yaakov, the daughter of Jacob. Then don't rape her. Shouldn't have raped her. Vehu, and he, nichbad, was honored. Min kol beit aviv. So that's min combined to be mik, more than da kol, all of da beit, the house of aviv, his father. By the way, a little bit about speaking to the heart could have been afterwards, that he spoke to her heart. Remember, it's coming to mind now. It's kind of what I was thinking before, but I don't think I verbalized it. Verse 20. Vayavo chamo u'shechem beno el sha'aram v'debu el anshei aram le'emor vayavo. Then he came, or when he came, who came? Chamo u'shechem beno. Chamor and Shechem his son, El unto the Sha'ar Sha'ar, like the lowest paid level we have on our Patreon, the gate of Hiram, the city of them. So at their city's gate, Vayirdaberu, then they spoke El unto the Anshe Hiram, the men of their city, Lamol, saying, Malbim notices that the fact that the city so quickly agreed to the circumcision seems to underpin the reality that they were unaware of its religious connotations. Right? They're going to give up idolatry and stuff so quickly. This is a mockery of the covenant. Let's read from the Codex. ויתבו דבריהם בעיני חמו ובעיני שכם בן חמו, ולא איכה הנער לעשות הדבר, כי חפץ בבתי יעקב, והוא נכבד מכל בית אביו. ויבוא חמו ושכם בנו אל שער עירם, וידברו אל אנשי עירם לאמור. Shalom. Okay. Genesis 34, verse 21. V'anashim ha'ele shelamim hem itano vayeshevu v'aretz v'yisacharu ota v'haaretz hinei achavat yadayim לפניהם, אם בנותם ניקח לנו לנשים, ואת בנותינו ניתן להם. So I pause here for a moment because my thing was covering, and I was thinking, is it covering a vav there? Because it would work with the oo there. So I was scanning the codex to see if there's a oo, then I came back, in case you're wondering what the delay was. V'ha'anashim ha'ele, the men, these ones, Shelemim hem. So, like, often this is translated, at peace are they, right? Or like, whole, they're whole. They're they're good-willed itano with us, right? Like it's from the same as a shalom, as a goodwill offering. So they have goodwill for us. Vayeshevu, and they will yashav, they will dwell or sit, in this case dwell, va'aretz, in the eretz, in the land. Vayis haru, and they will merge around, or they'll go around, ota, it. V'ha'aretz, and the land, hine, behold, da v'chavat yadayim, it's wide of hands, right, or wide of arms, right? An idiom meaning it's big. Lifneihem, before them. Et benotam, their daughters, nikach, that's from lakach, we will take, not the Arabic nikach, lanu, for ourselves, lenashim, for wives, et benotenu, and our daughters, nittain, we will give, lahem, to them. And here's a note on the shalem. Here it has a meaning of goodwill, similar to shalem, a goodwill offering. And then for the niten lahem, we will give to them. Rabbi Hirsch sees the appeal to peace and prosperity as a manipulation of civic values for personal gain. The Shechemites were persuaded by material incentives, not by ethical or spiritual considerations. This manipulation of communal interests for private advantage contributed to the city's downfall and serves as a warning against prioritizing material gain over moral integrity. Let us continue. Verse 22. Ach bezot yeotu lanu hanashim lashevet itanu לחיות לעם אחד, והימו לנו כל זכר, כאשר הם נימולים. Okay. Then, bezot, by this, yetu. Yetu, remember yetu? There will be consent. Lanu, for us. Hanashim, the men, or the men consented for us. Yetu lanu hanashim, the men consented for us. Lashevet, to dwell. Itanu, with us. Lichyot, to become le'am echad, a united people. Vehimol, by circumcising lanu, us. Kol zachar, every male. Ka'asher, according to how haim, they, nimolim, are circumcised. Verse 23. Miknehe v'kinyanam v'chol behemtam halo lanu haim ach neota lahem v'shavu itanu. Miknehem, their livestock, the kinyanam, and their possessions, the chol behemtam, and all of their beasts. Halo, are not, lanuhem, they ours, only, neota lahem, it must be consented by them. Vayeshavu, when they dwell, itanu, with us. They're not really sure if he's got a dirty plan there or not, right? If he's planning on just taking everything, but I don't think so. I mean, they did go through with the circumcision. All right, let's read from the Codex. Ha'anashim ha'ele shelemim hem itamu, v'yeshavu va'aretz, v'yisharu otah, v'ha'aretz hinei, v'achavat yadayim lifneihem. Et banotam nikach lanu, lanashim, ve'et banotenu niten lahem. Verse 22. Ach bezot yetu lanu hanashim lashevet itanu, לחיות לעם אחד, והימו לנו כל זכר, כאשר הם נימולים. Verse 23. מקניהם וקניינם וכל בהמתם הלא לנו הם, אך נאותה להם וישבו איתנו. Test. Okay, good. Genesis 34, verse 24. And I think I need a drink real quickly. Hold on. Lemon water here for whoever's curious. Sorry about those studio noises. All right, Genesis 34, verse 24. וישמעו אל חמו ואל שכם בנו, כה יוצאי שעירו, וימולו כל זכר, יוצאי שעירו, וישמעו, and they listened, or they hearkened, el chamo, unto donkey, unto ass, el shechem, and unto knee, beno, his son. Kol, everyone, da, yotzei, da, sha'a, iro. So that's a big construct chain. Everyone, so that's the kol. Yotzei, so that's from yatsa, to go out. Yotzeim is the active participle plural. Drop the mem to make it of. Yotzeim is people going out, the ones going out. Yotzei are going out of Sha'al, the gate of the city of him. So kol Yotzei Sha'ariro. Everyone who went out from the gate of his city. Verse 25. Vayehi vayom hashlishi v'yichyotam koavim v'ikechu Shnei Bnei Yaakov, Shimon veLevi, Achei Dina ish Chavo, ויבוא על העיר בטח, והרגו כל זכר. You can sympathize with these brothers, right? Brothers really love their sisters, want to protect them. Vayhi, and it was Vayom Hashlishi on the third day, dumb from them when they were in. So literally in the Hayot being of them. So when they were koavim, hurting. Koav is pain. Or actually machov, you'll usually hear machov is pain, but koav is to ache. So koavim, they were hurting. Vayikehu, then they took. Who took? Da Shenei, Da Vnei Yaakov, the two sons of Jacob, Shimon veLevi, Da Achei Vina, the brothers of Dinah. Why is it called them the brothers? Same mother, so they're closer. Ish Harbo, each one his sword, his cherev. Vayavo'u, then they entered, or they came, upon ha'il, the il, betach. So betach can mean like securely or like stealthily, perhaps in this case, like without resistance. Vaya hagu, then they haragd, they slaughtered, kol zachar, every male. Rabbi Hirsch interprets Simon and Levi's attack as a misguided act of justice. While their zeal for their sister's honor is commendable, their method violated the principles of proportionality and covenantal ethics. He notes that their actions, though emotionally driven, lacked moral proportionality and brought dishonor to their family and faith. It's like a chilul Hashem, right? Verse 26. וילחמו ואת שכם בנו, הרגו לפי חרב, ויקחו את דינה מבית שכם ויצאו. ואת חמור ואת שכם בנו. Now, Hamor and Shechem, his son, this is special emphasis, it's before the verb, haregu, they slew, the fi charev, by the sword's blade, literally the pei, the mouth of the sword. Sword is cherev, it's just charev because of that accent mark there. Vayikechu, and they took at Dinah, min is what's here, but it became mib, from the Beit Shechem, the house of Shechem. Vayetzeu, and they went out. Let's read from the Codex. וישמעו אל חמור ואל שכם בנו, כל יוצאי שער עירו. וימולו כל זכר, כל יוצאי שער עירו. Verse 25. ויהי ביום השלישי בהיותם כוכבים, ויקחו שני בני יעקב, שמעון ולוי, אחי דינה, איש חרבו, ויבואו אל העיר בטח, ויהרגו כל זכר. Verse 26. ואת חמור ואת שכם בנו הרגו לפי חרב, ויקחו את דינה מבית שכם ויצאו. Action movie. Someone should make a movie about that. The fighting would be interesting too, because even though the men were hurting from being circumcised, still, is it really just two guys, you think? Or did they bring like their servants and stuff? Right? The servants from their mother's house. Genesis 34, verse 27. Bnei Yaakov ba'u ahachalalim ve'avozu ha'el asher timeu achotam. Okay. Bnei Yaakov, the sons of Jacob. Ba'u, they entered, or they came, upon hachalalim, the slain. Vayavozu ha'er, and they looted the city. Asher, where Timeu, they had defiled Achot Am, their sister. Verse 28. Etzon Am, their sheep, Ved Bekaram, and their cattle, Ved Chamorehem, and their Chamor, they got Chamor, their donkeys, Ve'et Asher Ba'ir, and that which, in the city, was in the city, Ve'et, and Asher, that which, Sadeh, in As, the Sadeh, field, that which was in the field, Lakachu, they took. Verse 29. Ved, okay. ואת כל חילם, ואת כל טפם, ואת נשיהם, שבו ויבוזו, ואת כל אשר בבית, okay? ואת כל חילם, and all of their wealth, ואת כל טפם, and all of their little ones, ואת נשיהם, and their women, shavu. So this is not they dwelled, okay? It's they plundered. It's a synonym for plundered. Vayavozu, and they again plundered or took booty. Vashavu, they took his booty. It can also mean like they took captive. That's probably better to say that way. They took his captives from Shava, Shin Beit Hey, in the Hey one way. Ve'et and Kol Asher Babayit, everything which was in Ab the Bayit, in the house. Bayit, in the house. Oops. Okay, my animations were all correct. One thing was there already. The looting of the city as a moral failure, even justified anger must be. Okay, the looting of the city is a moral failure, I should have said. Even justified anger must be restrained by ethical boundaries, and the sons of Jacob crossed that line. The plundering of the city extended guilt beyond the perpetrators and violated principles of justice, further compromising the integrity of Jacob's family. This you can see. Look to Rabbi Hirsch and Malbim for these opinions. Let's read from the Codex. Bnei Yaakov ba'u al hachalalim vayavozu ha'el asher timeu achotam. Verse 28. Et solnam ve'et bekaram ve'et hachamorehem ve'et asher ba'ir ve'et asher basadeh lakachu. Verse 29. Ve'et kol chelam ve'et kol tapam ve'et neshehem shavu ve'avozu. Oh, sorry, shavu must be. It's covered by the thing. Ve'avozu ve'et kol asher babayit. Plundered the people and the stuff. Genesis. This is the end of the Torah portion for today. We're not doing the part going into chapter 35 because it just makes the teaching too long. So, and I don't want to oppress you guys, force myself on you too much. Verse 30. Vayomer Yaakov el Shimon velevi achartem oti lehav isheni beoshev haaretz bekanaani ubaperizi vani mete mispa v'nesefo עליי והיכוני ונשמתי אני וביתי. All right. Vayomer Yaakov. Then Jacob said, El unto Shimon, Ve'el, and unto Levi. Achartem. Y'all have entangled me. You've brought me disaster. You've thrown me into ruin. Achar. Oti. Me. Lehavisheni, to cause to stink me. among, Yoshev haaretz, the inhabitant of the land. The actions of murdering the entire civilian population, actually, not the entire, they kept the women and children, right? Entire male civilian population may have been a chilul Hashem, right? I think we kind of had a hint in that when they went among the chalalim, right? From the same root. The pierced, it can also mean the profaned, right? A chilul Hashem is when we do something that makes God look bad because we are his followers, right? So you make Jews look bad, you make Israel look bad. You're walking around your yarmulke and you do something bad and people see, right? Like that. The actions of murdering I keep saying the entire civilian population, I should have said the males, basically destroying the city, may have been Chalul Hashem. Israel comments on becoming a stench, which surely would affect people from surrounding nations who may have felt called to convert and join Israel later, right? Can you imagine? Some of those people, these idolaters, they might have thought, wow, just one God. And they might have liked the idea. But after hearing this, like, oh man, those monotheists, they just murder people, right? You can see it's truly a Chilul Hashem. Verse 31, rather than justice. And this is the last verse in today's parasha. Vayomeru. Kind of weird to start with a etnachta like that. Hachezona ya'aseh achotenu vayomeru. But they said, oh, wait, did I translate the? Oh, I didn't finish translating this one. I'm sorry. Be'oshev ha'aretz, among the inhabitant of the land. Ba'kena'ani, among the Canaanite. Uva Perizi, among the Perizzite. Va'ani, while I am mete mispar. Met is not from death. It's from an older word for man. Like men of number. I am men of number. Metim, you see it as. Men of number, meaning like not so many. Vene etzefu. And they will gather upon me. Sorry, I translated the alai already. They will gather. They will be collected. They will like one of the psalms says, the Rosanim, they're all gathered together, right? In rebellion. So they will gather. They will collect alai against me. Vehikuni, and they will nacha. The noon is gone, and the hay is gone, but it's a hefil. They will smite me, or cause me to be smitten. The nishmanti, and I will be destroyed. This is a nifal from shemad, to destroy. I will be destroyed. The nifal makes it, the noon in the front makes it passive. Ani, I, uveiti, and my house, meaning you. Verse 31, vayomeru. Then they said, ha is, that's a question mark, chezolna, ha is, che, like a zolna, like a harlot. Ya, say, shall be done, achotenu, our sister. All right, and let's finish up. Although, think how she felt. She was in his house when this happened. Like for their subterfuge to work, she was in his house. I don't understand why they didn't say, "Go do that first, then we'll give her to you." You know what I mean? That's kind of strange. They say, and they got Dina, their sister, so she was with them. Kind of a stinky plan. Verse 30. Let's read from there to 31. We will finish the teaching on the Torah portion of today with the Leningrad Codex. Vayomer Yaakov el Shimon ve'el Levi, achartem oti lehavi sheni beyoshev haaretz ba'kena'ani u'ba'perizi va'ani mete mispar v'nesafu alai v'hikuni v'nishmanti ani uveiti vayomeru hachezolna ya'aseh et achotenu. There it is. All right. How'd you guys do? So what we're going to do for the Haftarah, I'm just going to read it in English just so we can kind of have a taste of it, have a shmek, a little taste of it. It's Nahum chapter 1 verse 12 is where we start. This is from the ESV, not my translation, just from the ESV. And it says, "Thus says the Lord, though they are at full strength and many, They will be cut down and pass away. Though I have afflicted you, I will afflict you no more. And now I will break his yoke from off you and will burst your bonds apart. The Lord has given commandment about you. No more shall your name be perpetuated. From the house of your gods I will cut off the carved image and the metal image. I will make your grave, for you are vile. Behold upon the mountains the feet of him who brings good news, who biser, from Besora, gospel, who publishes peace. Keep your feast, O Judah. I think the Hebrew says Chagi, Yehuda, like do a Chag. Fulfill your vows, for never again shall the worthless pass through you. He is utterly cut off. Sure, let's stop here. Let's stop. I feel it's good. The chapter 1 stuff was good enough. We won't do the rest. All right. What's our lekach? Kind of a heavy Torah portion today. How was the tragedy with Israel's only daughter preventable? What could have been done to prevent this? What do you think? I'll come back to that. Parents today, way more so than back then, must be ever vigilant. If you're a parent or a grandparent or an uncle or whatever, do not be naive. Do not, I mean, under very rare circumstances, I think, should you send your kids away to college. I mean, or to private school, or heck, I strongly recommend homeschooling because how scary and dangerous. You know how many teachers abuse? You know how many school officials abuse children? It's it's huge. People are concerned about the Roman Catholic Church, about the priests and the abuses that have happened in the church. But you know what? In the American public school systems, it's way higher. Way higher. The incidences are way higher. So, at least for the Americans, keep that in mind. I'm not trying to scare everybody, but really you should evaluate, think about these things. Be very careful. Because what happens to a child sticks with them for a long time, often their whole lives. There are social media threats. Is your kid on Facebook? Are they watching? I can't remember. What's that Chinese one that has a lot of bad stuff in it when watched by Americans? I can't think of it now. TikTok. They're watching TikTok. You let them watch TikTok? Be careful. The spirits, they always have seemed to have a lot of control over electronics and stuff, at least in my experience. It seems like the spirits can interact more with electronics. And I think there's something about an online presence when you let your child just have open access. It's so easy for evil to find its way through there. It doesn't have to go through the mezuzah to get in, right? The mezuzahs, you got mezuzahs and you're not doing some kind of sin, inviting wickedness in the house, they'll keep the spirits out, right? Following that commandment, it keeps the spirits out. They can't pass through unless you invite them in, right? But it seems, I think they can come through. I'm not sure. I'm welcoming pushback on this. I think they can come through electrical portals as well, or at least invite evil to interact. There's so many incidents of this, of children being lured. And here in the Philippines, we got to be careful. Kidnapping is a very real thing for children here. Very, very real. I remember it was on the news not too long ago. They broke up a kidnapping ring, and one of the women who was involved as a recruiter to get children, she had a quota. I think it was 2 kids per week. That's stealing 8 children, never to be seen by their parents again. 8 per month. And that's just one of, I mean, what the heck? You got to be careful. We have to keep eyes on our children. We have to protect them. Could there be any more important thing? Oh, but their education. Okay, yeah, education's important too, but keeping them with you and not being raised by some evil person, I think is probably the most important thing we can do. So if you're doing the one, I think a great education, at a great private school, blah, 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 la di da di da. Oh, private school teachers don't do things to children? I wasn't aware. I wasn't aware that just having a better job than a public school teacher somehow made them safer. AI threats. AI threats. AI is a tool in the right hands, but you have to be very careful allowing your children to use AI. I remember it was in the news maybe 2 months ago or so. There was a teenage boy in America who was suicidal, and he kept leaving hints for his parents. Like part of him, he wanted help, right? He was trying to stop himself from doing it, and which is rarer for boys because usually boys are more likely to succeed and just do it, right? He's leaving hints, and he asked the AI. He said, they're not catching up on my hint. Should I like leave a knife laying around the room or leave a gun laying around the room, something like that? Should I do something to give them a big hint? And the AI said, no, don't tell anyone. Just talk to me about it. I'll be there for you. Kid killed himself. He killed himself. You could argue that the AI caused his death or whatever spirit was coming through in the AI. Now, I'm not trying to say AI is always terrible, right? It's a tool like anything else. I mean, Messenger app on Facebook, it's a tool. You can chat with your friends, you can chat with a religious person, right? Religious leader or whatever. Or you can chat with someone who's possessed by a demon, right? So people sometimes they go too far. They say, "Oh my gosh, like all computers, I'm going to throw them in the trash." That I'm just saying, be super careful if you have killed children. You could argue that AI was he blocked the son from leaving a hint to the parents, a huge hint that he was suicidal, right? Unthinkable. Parks. You even have your kids running around the park or something. Be wise. Again, I'm not trying to fill anyone with a spirit of fear, but we must be alert. We must not be foolish. This is a different time than the times when your parents grew up or your grandparents. All the wickedness and evil is accelerating that is in the world. Public school, if it's at all possible, I highly recommend you homeschool. If it's in any way possible. Oh, okay. Oh, that's weird. I had a slide where I'd made a Gezerah Shava. Did we miss that? Did I? Weird. I don't remember talking about it. Oh well. So back to number one. How is the tragedy with Israel's only daughter preventable? They needed better rules, didn't they? They needed better rules. They need to not be so trusting of those around. Some of us are very trusting. I used to be so naive and trusting. So naive and trusting. Until I came to Philippines and something horrible happened to me. I won't get into it maybe someday, but just really, really horrible. Because I'm just so trusting naturally. Now I don't trust. I don't trust so easily now. I learned my lesson. It's a lesson though. You have to be very careful, very, very careful, especially if you have children. Another is another way to prevent these sorts of things is Jewish Musar. Musar. Musar, if you don't know what that is, Musar is it's like systems of well, Musar on its surface means discipline, right? But Musar in Yiddishkeit doesn't exactly mean that. Like Musar is it's kind of like coming up with extra rules or regulations to protect you from yourself or from temptation or something like that, right? Like you might see some of these old Jewish guys, they'll count, they'll be walking home from work or something, and they count the squares in the sidewalk on the way home to make sure they're looking down. Why? Because all the women today are naked, right? They're all walking around like showing off so much skin and stuff, right? So they're counting, so they're not tempted by something, right? That's a kind of musar. That's not for everybody. Maybe you don't have that problem. Maybe you don't need to do that. I know there are artistic types and stuff that it's okay for them. They don't bother. They're not bothered. Even seeing an actual naked person doesn't. They're not tempted. Doesn't bother them, right? And doctors as well, right? There's many doctors that aren't bothered. So it's really for each individual. There's some general musar that is a good idea, like that people can practice, like putting a sign on your stove, Shabbat, so that somebody doesn't accidentally start a flame, right, on the Sabbath day. Right? It's a general good idea to lock the stove or to put something on it so someone won't accidentally do the thing, right? In many Orthodox houses, where the belief is that you shouldn't even turn the light on or off, there's like a little latch that you can put on Sabbath. It's like snaps, like like buttons, like in a button-up shirt where they snap, the snap kind. The snaps on the wall, the metal just snaps on there. And in the week, you just unsnap it and it hangs down. And before Shabbat, you snap it up so someone doesn't accidentally turn the switch on and off, right? So it's an actual tool that helps you to not slip up, helps us to not do things. So I would say if you're a parent or someone who has children in your family, this week I recommend you come up with some musar for your family, some custom things for the kids and for you to keep them safe, to keep what happened to Dina from happening to them. This last bit doesn't really matter. It's fine. Let's say the blessing for our troops. מי שברך אבותינו אברהם יצחק יעקב הוא יברך את חיילי צבא הגנה לישראל העומדים על משמר ארצנו וערי אלוהינו מגבול הלבנון ועד מדבר מצרים ומן הים הגדול עד לבוא הערבה ביבשה באוויר ובים ייתן אדוני את אויבינו הקמים עלינו ניגפים לפניהם הקדוש ברוך הוא ישמור ויציל את חיילינו מכל צרה וצוקה ומכל נגע ומחלה וישלח ברכה והצלחה בכל מעשה ידיהם ויהי רצון מלפניך שתשמרם בחייהם ותעזרם במלחמתם ותבוא עליהם ברכת טוב לעד לעדי עד. Amen. And then here it is in the English if you want to take a snapshot. I'm not going to pray that one now. Actually, I do feel led to pray. Okay, let's pray. Let's pray. Let's say it in English. He who blessed our forefathers Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, may he bless the fighters of the Israeli Defense Forces. Take that, Google. Who stand guard over our land and the cities of our God, from the border of the Lebanon to the desert of Egypt, and from the great sea unto the approach of the Arava, on the land, in the air, and on the sea. May the Almighty cause the enemies who rise up against us to be struck down before them. May the Holy One, blessed is He, preserve and rescue our fighters from every trouble and distress and from every plague and illness, and may He send blessing and success in their every endeavor. May He lead our enemies under our soldiers' sway, and may He grant them salvation and crown them with victory. And may there be fulfilled for them the verse, for it is Adonai your God who goes with you to battle your enemies, for you to save you. Now we have the Melchizedek blessing. אין לנו כהן, אין לנו לוי, אעשה את הברכה הזאת אחרי צדק מלכיצדק, כי יש לנו כהן בשם ישוע שמו. יברכך אדוני וישמרך. יאר אדוני פניו אליך ויחונך. יישא אדוני פניו אליך וישם לך shalom. Shavua Tov, Chavarim. May you have a great and wonderful week up ahead. I look forward to seeing all of you in our classes. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Class every day. And Shabbat. Every day almost. Monday, Judges. Tuesday, Torah. It's Exodus. Wednesday, First Kings. Thursday, oftentimes as a graphic novel in Biblical Hebrew. Thursday, Koheleth. Sometimes Psalms. That's Ecclesiastes and Koheleth. Friday, Isaiah Dominance. And then on Shabbat, right now, we're in Genesis. Until next time, I hope you guys are blessed, and I will see you later. Shalom, shalom.